Just waiting for Facebook. All right. Hey, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, good evening, I guess, wherever you are or whenever you're watching this. Just popping on here as I posted a little earlier today that I wanted to come on and take you through a journaling process to help you create your best after COVID-19 reality. First of all, I just want to share my sort of pre-process to these going live videos. I usually have my own journaling process. Not usually, I do every morning. Maybe there's one day a week where I'll not do my journaling practice, but pretty much it's every single day because it just makes me feel so good. But I'll have my journaling practice. I'll know that I'm getting on live. I'll usually have some kind of sort of message or insight around what I want to talk about, sometime earlier in that week. And then I'll just kind of start hashing it out through my morning journaling practice. And then I go about my morning and I deal with clients and I have appointments and blah, blah, blah. And then when it comes time to get ready, shower, do the hair, get the makeup on, and which is funny because in quarantine, I'm not doing the hair or the makeup as often as I usually do. So number one, it's kind of fun to get the hair done. And then of course, today it was like, what is the hair doing? And then there's a little bit of a tuning into my notes and then a meditation before I get onto these lives. And today was really funny because a group of my friends were doing a collage. You've seen those fun collages where everybody has a sign and they have a word and they're basically sharing a message. And we're doing that together, and I got super caught up in trying to get the right picture, the right picture for the collage before I got on today. So I think I had about 1 minute to kind of drop into my meditation. But that just is a reminder of how powerful 1 minute, right? 1 minute of meditation is. But I'll go ahead and just kind of jump right in today to the topic. So I run a women's group. I have a group of women that I take through a 6-month journey together. And it's a beautiful journey. And it's sort of this beautiful kind of mission. When I start, there's a vision, there's an intention, and then all the right women come in, and then it sort of unfolds, and we focus on what we want to create, right? What do we want to call into our lives? What do we want to create in our lives? What things in our lives are good quality things and the things we want them to stay, and what are the things that need to go, and what are the things we need to, receive more of or maybe open ourselves up to. And that's an inside job. And that is called conscious creation, right? You could call it focus, you could call it intention, you could call it a lot of different things, but there's an internal process that goes into consciously creating our life, right? Day after day after day. And I really started to kind of tap into, it's not that I haven't been thinking about this during the entire quarantine or during the whole COVID-19, but I think I noticed a shift in energy, and I'm just going to say hello to all of you who are joining. If you're popping in, definitely give me a heart, say hello. But I felt a little bit of a shift in energy over the last maybe few days or so. And to me, it feels, and this is just coming from my own personal feeling, my own gut feeling, it feels like we're really coming through, we're kind of moving into the upswing of things. And even though that might not mean things are going to go back to normal right off the bat, but it does mean like there's an opening right now for us to start really reflecting on how we want things to feel, how we want things to be when we get to the other side of this. We've been very consumed thinking about kind of how things were and sort of grieving that and letting go of that and just really trying to jump in to dealing with, right, coping with in the best possible way what was kind of at hand, what was being laid down in front of us. And we all, I think, have done such an amazing job. Kudos to all of you. I think everybody has done such a great job adjusting to something so was And so what I want to do is I want to actually extend an invitation to all of you. And this invitation was extended to me too. It's just something that kind of came from spirit, just one of those impulses you get, one of those kind of aha moments where you realize like, yeah, this is actually really powerful, to do this. And I actually did this process this morning. that I'm going to share with you, because I never share something with a client, with a student, with anyone that I haven't actually done myself. Okay, I want to know that it's effective. I want to have personally experienced it before I'm going to go talking about how this thing really works. You know, you gotta walk the walk. So I love journaling. I truly believe that journaling can totally change your life. It absolutely did for me. I do know that not everybody has the most positive kind of attachment or experience of journaling. I think that can be for a lot of different reasons. Some people just haven't tried it. Some people haven't really known how to do it. I started journaling because I took a course called The Artist's Way. And that is following a book that was written by a woman named Julia Cameron. And she has a lot of different very cool exercises in there that really help tap you into your creativity, among other things. But one of the practices that she invites you to do is start to journal every morning. And it's something called morning pages. And you just give this kind of mental dump, this mental purge onto paper for up to 3 pages as soon as you wake up. And the idea here is that you have access to your subconscious mind and you're able to kind of reach into your own brain, you know, your own consciousness in a way that once the day kind of gets going, all that muck is still there, but it's harder to access. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the minute you turn on your computer in the morning, the minute you answer that first phone call, the minute that you sit down at your email, the minute you sort of look at social media, you know, it's like you can't really rewind, you know, from that point forward. It's very hard to go back to the moment before all of that happened and create a different experience. So if you move into your day sort of chaotic and not grounded and you don't sort of deal with that muck in your head, well, the day can just kind of get a hold of you. The day can get a hold of you. We're more vulnerable to negative thoughts. We're more vulnerable to, you know, those triggers and those charges that can occur, you know, throughout the day. So I want to share my love of journaling with you guys today to help you manifest your best after life, your best after COVID-19 life. Okay, so I just really want to start to invite you to start thinking about this. And what we'll do is we'll actually just do a little bit of personal inquiry and we'll actually just take a little bit of time to look at some things. You know, what have we learned? What is this kind of brought up for us? And then how do we want to move forward? And so pretty much we're just going to jump right in. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I would love for you to actually do this with me. I do suggest that, you know, maybe you come back later and go through it again. I know for me, I mean, I love to write and it wasn't always necessarily that way. I think writing takes practice and the more you do it, the more like the easier it gets, you know, to access yourself, to access your thoughts. And I know when I first started journaling, there was this way that I would like edit myself, you know, as if somebody was watching me or somebody was judging me. And it's really interesting to pay attention to that because that happens all the time. You know, when we're out in the world, we're trying to share our message, we're trying to communicate with the people we love. If you guys probably all relate, there can be that voice, right? That's sort of editing you and making it really hard for you to just really flow in the pure, authentic, genuine nature that you are. And it kind of like cuts you off here and cuts you off there and you have to kind of, you know, edit yourself and you don't feel like you're fully showing up as yourself. And when you're not fully showing up as yourself, it's also really hard to fully show up in your power, right? And so I feel like journaling helps us really see that part of us that tries to edit and is judging ourselves all the time. And you start to be able to break through that and find this deeper, more confident version of yourself, this deeper, more confident, more courageous, just more in the flow connection that you have really with that deeper wisdom, with, you know, source energy, with spirit, with God, and you can move forward, you can navigate through your life, you can move through your life more from that place. So there's not so much editing going on. All right, so that's why I love journaling and that's why I feel like it's really powerful. I also just want to say before we get going, your focus is extremely powerful, right? The things that you focus on, we've all heard this, right? The things that you focus on, the things that you give your energy to, they get bigger. I mean, think about the things that you think about the most. Hey, Priscilla, good to see you, girl. Hey, Janine, I love you. You're awesome too. But think about the things you think about, right? The most of the time. Whatever you think about the most in your life is probably the biggest energy in your life, right? So if we know that, right, because it's pretty common sense, you can gather proof from your life about that, then what happens when we start shifting our focus and we start using our focus in a really constructive, productive way to create the energies that we want? And everything starts with an energy. So it becomes, it's an energy first, and then it becomes something in our physical reality. Okay, so with our journaling, it helps us really fine tune, and I like to think of it as like we're engineering the energy. We're working with the energy as we're journaling, and then we're helping that energy get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then finally manifest its way, into our physical reality. Okay, so your curiosity is super powerful, okay? Just like your focus, your curiosity is super powerful. I did a Facebook Live a few weeks ago about curiosity and about, how can we meet uncertainty? How can we meet instability with curiosity? And why is curiosity a powerful tool? Well, just like a gun could be used for something really horrible, it can also be used for something really good, right? And that's the same with our curiosity. So it all depends on the questions that we're asking. Are we using our curiosity to open ourselves up to a greater possibility, something more aligned with a higher good? And when I think of lifting people up, I don't think of saving people, okay? Because that is actually not possible. Like if we dip down in our vibration, in our energy state, in our emotional state to go try to save someone else, it's like that age-old analogy of when someone else is drowning, you go try to save them and then you both drown. It's like you can't step down to save someone. But what you can do is you can hold a really powerful energy of what's possible, and you can shine that light like a lighthouse does, and the boats find it, right? And then the people can find you. You can inspire them, right, to make this conscious choice to elevate, right, to step up, to rise up. So I feel like one thing that's really being purged is this kind of codependent way of helping people, because it doesn't work. And it's focusing on the weakness of people and the incapabilities and and I've got to save you because you can't save yourself. And we focus on that, it gets bigger, right? We focus on that, it gets bigger. But if I say, I'm going to elevate myself and I'm going to create this here, and I'm going to be a light, right, for you, right, to be inspired, to reflect back what's possible, to be the energy of love that attracts you, right, to be that sort of irresistible invitation into something better, where just naturally the heart, the soul recognizes that, right, as a version of home, as something that feels resonant, it feels truthful, and they say, yes, I want some of that too. So that's what I'm talking about here, that this is, yes, for us, this is for you, this journaling practice, and to create your best reality, but a better world, right, a new earth, and all of this stuff we keep hearing about, this kind of paradigm shift, right, this new way of operating and doing things. Well, we can't do crap for anyone or anything else unless we're doing it here first. So we've got to do that here first. Okay, and so this is one of the best ways that we can do this. And I like to think of this, it's a mindset practice, it's a spiritual practice. It will help you in all areas of your life. They say that same thing about yoga, not everything will help your yoga, but your yoga will help your everything. And I feel like that about journaling. Not everything will help your journaling, but your journaling will absolutely help your everything. Okay, so another thing that's really powerful for you is your personal inquiry, your ability to self-reflect. And I'm not telling you guys anything that you don't already know, okay? But when, I'm just kind of reflecting back and reminding you, right? I'm just reminding you. And I know for me, when I hear a reminder, especially when it's something I already know, I'm just so thankful. It's just like that little bit of reassurance, like that, just that synchronistic moment, that just helps keep you going, on your path. And then lastly, just a few other things that are really powerful. It's our ability to be honest with ourselves, to look at things honestly, right? To look at things with, objectively, to kind of take a step back and to kind of really just look at things, not from a place of right or wrong or should or shouldn't, but just like, what was that like? And what did come up for me with that? And what have I learned? And, where can I improve? And how would I like to do that differently next time? And what else is possible? And how does it get better from here, right? How does it get better from here? And if it does get better from here, isn't that exciting? And what can I do in this moment to really move myself in that direction, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it, okay? We want to get into this sort of fun, playful, creative energy with this. I want to say that as we go into this practice, there's no right or wrong way to do it. And you'll probably find, because I'm not going to keep us here for a super long amount of time, but you're welcome to come back. You'll find that as you start to open things up, you could probably spend 5-10 minutes at least, just on each question. All right. But don't feel like you're doing it wrong if you only, if you write a sentence or two and you feel complete, because that's okay too. All right. You're just going to do this in the very best way that you know how. And that's all. And you can come back later if you like. All right. So the first question, okay, so getting out your paper, getting out your pen, and let's actually do this. Let's take a moment and just close our eyes down. And I always like to say an invocation before I journal. For me, it's almost like it's a living prayer. It's a moving prayer. It's a kind of a prayer that I'm in the process of as I'm writing. So just closing your eyes down and take a moment to just invoke or call in, right, God of your understanding, your higher power, right, the love of the universe, just calling all of that in, calling in the support and the guidance, from maybe the angelic realm or the spirit realm, and just say, show me what I need to see, tell me what I need to know, help me feel what I need to feel, and point me in the direction of the highest love, light, and truth, right? Let's ask for that we might be pointed in the direction of the highest love, light, and truth. And then you can just open up your eyes, and we'll start with the first question. So the first question is, what have you learned? Okay, so as you've moved in to this whole phase of COVID-19, and that very possibly has included quarantine for you, and maybe not, maybe you're on the front lines, maybe you're essential work and you're still out there. What have you learned? Okay, what has this shown you about yourself, about life, about people? All right, what have you learned? And just start there. I'll give you about a minute with this question. Really good. Okay. Priscilla says, I have learned that you have to show love, and not just in times like this. Yes, that is so beautiful. I just got goosebumps. And I think we're all seeing that, that humans are beautiful, that we are resourceful and resilient. And it's like, hardly did we even spend a moment, going into these kind of worst case scenario feelings, and we all just rallied, we rallied like mofos, and it's like, it was really cool, to watch that. Okay, so the second question is, what has this brought to the surface for you? Okay, so I know for me, it brought some really cool things to the surface, like really seeing how resourceful I am, and even just, having so much time to focus in a different way showed me that things that I thought I wasn't good at, or things that I thought I couldn't do, I actually am good at it and I can do it. There's also been some kind of more challenging things, right, that were a little more, hard to process or digest. So anything from like the positive stuff that came up for you, and then also just the things that maybe weren't so easy to look at, right? What did this bring up for you? Like for me, I had to really confront my fear of death, and I had to confront my fear of dealing with maybe losing a loved one, right? But you can see how that would be helpful for life, right? Always. All right, so what did this experience for you? What is this experience for you, right? What is it bringing up for you? What is it showing you? So perhaps ways you felt that it empowered you, ways you felt it maybe confronted you. Awesome. So remember, you can always come back to these questions. Okay, so the next question is, let's see here. So what things about your before COVID, yeah? So before all of this, what were some things about your life that you really found that you appreciate and you're really looking forward to returning to those things? Okay, so what are the things about your before COVID life that you're looking forward to resuming, right? Maybe you even appreciate them more now. Maybe you value things you didn't even value before, right? What are those things? What are the things that you're looking forward to going back to continuing, to resuming? Really good. Really, really good. Okay, so we're going to move into that next question. Again, if you're really feeling like this is cracking stuff open for you, I'm going to invite you to come back to this journaling practice either before bed tonight or when you wake up in the morning. Also, too, if you love this kind of stuff, playful, fun, creative, effective workouts for your mind, for your heart, for your spirit, for your body, make sure you come join me over in the Erin Lanahan Method online studio. I'll put a link here in the comments. Okay, so we'll continue on here. So we just talked about the qualities of your life that you can't wait to continue with or resume, right? You're looking forward, you appreciate them more now. So let's just take a moment to actually reflect on what are some of the things about your life before all of this that you've actually really become clear that you don't want to go back to. You actually really are seeing that you'd like to move beyond or kind of move forward from that or kind of move into something different, right? So just take a moment to write about that. What are some of the things that you had that you're just feeling like you're done with, right? As you move forward. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move on. I did go ahead and just put that link in the comments, just if you're on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio. Okay, so next question, and I really love this question, okay? So hang on here. What qualities about your before do you want to walk away from? Right, okay, so now we get to talk about, we know what we appreciate, what we're looking forward to resuming, what we want to continue. We know what we're actually clear that we're actually not really feeling like we want to carry forward, like that was then, and now we're creating this next thing. And so what's that look like, right? When you think about life after all of this, right? The stores are open, the banks are open, the grocery stores have been open, but you know what I mean. Businesses are opening and things are starting to go back to the way they were. right? Even though your psychology and your energy and your awareness and your attention and your focus, it's all been rearranged, right? It's all been recalibrated. It's been recalibrated, right? Things are different in there. Okay, so based on what you know now, based on what you learned, based on what you felt, what's come up for you, what you've seen, right? What you've processed, what you've digested, right? And a lot of us have been journaling and meditating and working out more than ever. Excuse me. What do you see from here, right? How do you want your reality to feel? What do you want it to look like? Who do you want in it? And just take some time to kind of write about that and really look at that. And some of you might be writing, I really loved this slower pace, and I really have loved more time with my family, or I realize that I'm an introvert and I want to do more, I want to work from home more, or I realize that I'm an extrovert and I can't wait to get back out into the world and just be as busy as possible, right? So how do you want life to feel, and what's different now? Like, what got restructured for you? Right? In your mind, in your body, in your spirit. Maybe you're more committed now than ever to sustain a healthy mind and a healthy body, because we all got to see, if you weren't doing well mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, when all that happened, man, that was tough, right? It was tough. But when you've got that spiritual fitness and you've got that physical strength and you've got that mental resilience, no matter what happens in life, you find a really positive way to navigate through it. And not only that, you're able to hold that space, right, for other people. So whether that's your beloved, your husband, your wife, your partner, whether that's your children, your friends, whether that's an audience that you are in front of, a community of people, that matters. That really, really matters. And I know that so many of us, we went looking for those people who could be those anchors, right, for us during this time, right? If you have teachers, or you have mentors, or you have guides, or you have people who somehow find a way to speak, to what's happening in your heart and what's happening in your mind when sometimes you can't even understand it yourself, right? We go to those people because they have that resilience, they have that strength, they cultivate that through their own practice. And I can guarantee you that probably almost all of them journal. So it's just one tool that we can have, in our toolbox. So I really want to hear, what does your reality look like based on what this was like and what your experience has been and what your strength has shown you, like what you learned about your strength, and now what your hope is moving forward. Share that with me. I want to hear how was your experience, and how do you feel this has strengthened you, and how is this sort of shaping your hope and your vision for moving forward. And when you imagine that and you visualize that, what do you see that look like? What do you see that look like? Who's there? What are you doing? What does it feel like? What's the rhythm? What's the pace? Are you at home more? Are you out in the world more? What does that look like? So again, if you love just workouts for your mind, for your heart, for your spirit, for your body, and you enjoy variety and just creative ways to do that, then please come visit me over in the Erin Lanahan Method online studio. The link is here in the comments, or if you're on Instagram, it's in my bio. And then if you just feel like you're kind of in that place in your life and you're like, what, I really need a mentor. I really just need someone to help me anchor, someone to help me navigate, someone to help me just feel more confident in the tools that I have for life, then maybe you want to work with a coach, and that could be me, or that could be someone else. Maybe there's a mentor out in the world that you're ready to work with. I'll pop my calendar link here in the comments, and you can actually book a call with me if you want to explore what it would be like to work with me as a coach. And maybe that works for us, and maybe you find someone else, but either way, I'll put that link there for you. And if you saw this video, if you did this process, whether it was with me live or you did it afterwards, please let me know what it was like for you. let me know, is journaling something you enjoy? Is journaling something you feel resistance around? And are you willing to just bring this practice into your life on a more regular basis? And if you want help with that, you want guidance with that, I definitely provide that with my coaching clients and also over in my Erin Lanahan Method online studio. So it's so good to be with you all. Thank you for visiting. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your sweet comments. And I'll see you soon. All right. Bye for now. Much love.